The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Mick Shots, streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app. Now, here are Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
It is time for another edition of Mick Shots. It's a Wednesday edition, and that means it's the start of Carolina Panthers week here inside the SWBC Mortgage Studio at Ford Center at the Star in Frisco. Bill Jones, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola. And there's football stuff on the football practice field here. So what does that mean for our football team?
That's supposed to be out there, right? It's football stuff on the football practice field, Bill. They did a walkthrough this morning, and then the players did their daily interviews outside our little studio here, as a matter of fact, out on the pathway. They may be going back out there again. Have 2 days in walkthroughs because he wanted to keep the guys off their feet. So I saw the guy with the little cart that has the helmets. And he was going that away, which means he was going away from the locker room.
I saw the cart with the helmets. It is stationed at about the 40-yard line on the near side of the field.
Well, then maybe
there are jugs machines also lined up there,
and the little high-rise, what do you call it, elevated camera. It's on the boat trailer. It's still out there, by the way. That's what it is. It was a sawed-off boat trailer. The guy who invented this thing put the mechanisms, the computer, the screen, and everything. The lady now sits there, and then the thing has like a telescopic thing, and it goes up in the air. And it's at the end of the field still.
What are you talking about?
It films practice. It's the coach's film.
You haven't said one word that makes any sense. Telescopic? What are you talking
Telescopic. Yes.
It's a camera.
It's a camera. You guys haven't seen that?
I have not. No, for real.
You haven't?
Yes, I have.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Bill's
but it's funnier to hear you describe.
Yeah. Well, it's hard.
Whatever that thing is.
If you haven't seen it before.
Yeah, if I haven't seen it before, I cannot picture it by the way you describe it.
Well, when we take a break,
we
you go look out the window.
There you go. All right.
Okay?
We'll do.
But I just get the feeling when I see that football stuff on the football practice field that football players might be out there shortly.
I think you're probably
for
right.
A football walkthrough of sorts.
It'll be maybe at most a mini camp practice.
Okay.
And if they put the pads on, they normally put them on Thursday during the week. That's their one day. I don't know.
So you come back from a Wednesday. You come back from a Monday night. Oh, you come back from a Monday night.
That's right. It's Monday.
Yes.
So he's trying to get them ready for.
There you go.
Well, and you think about it, every game so far this season, they've had more than a normal week to prepare.
Except for this one.
Or less.
Yeah.
Well, more up until now. This is the first time they've had
Well,
less.
they would have had less for the opener because everybody else had 2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's kind of
They only had 10 days.
No, they had
about
6 months.
Exactly. They had 8 months since their last game.
I'm talking about after the last preseason.
I would have to say that this is the shortest time.
It definitely is, but even their previous weeks were not normal work weeks.
There hasn't been a normal work week until next week.
Next week when they take on the New York Football Giants.
Okay, and I said earlier before we came on the air, I hate those early games. You know, those noon games when you're at home. You know, it's some people like to get it over with, but I'm a late riser, and I'm late to go to bed.
Oh, so you could sleep to noon on a night game?
I could sleep to noon on a night game.
God bless you.
And boy, I could stretch and
I bet you can't do that anymore.
I can sleep, yeah.
To noon?
Yeah.
No way.
If I had to, if you could force me, yeah, I sure would be happy to.
So the inequity about this is the Cowboys are on 6 days and Carolina's on 10 days because they played on Thursday night football.
And see, that's some things logistically that really it's a factor. It's an X factor in any ball game. So here we are. We just came off a Monday night, but thank God we didn't have to travel.
At least it was home, right?
It's at home, so home and home, but you still have fewer days to prepare. Emotional game, even though we blew them out, it's still very emotional. Dak's crying before the game. He said it was sweat. Yeah, it was sweat. Yeah, sweat, but the emotion was there, and I would imagine he was not the only one. I mean, you got to think about what Jordan was thinking. I mean, we're up here because we're kind of emotionally invested in the quarterback. But Jordan he's been through this too. This is his first game back.
No one's making a big deal
No one
about
made
that,
a
right?
big deal about that at all. And you got to know on a personal level that he was probably feeling that emotion just like Dak was.
Wonder if anybody will ask Tristan Hill that when he finally gets active. He tore his ACL in the same game, right?
There'll be one microphone there, just one microphone. That's it. But that's still, it's a personal thing that people have to go through. And Jordan had played decent in that game. And so every time he caught a ball in that game, you would imagine he had to be feeling some kind of way because each time he catches it, as much as I talk about his blocking and lack thereof, he's getting the yards after the catch when he catches the ball. And these are on some big linebackers who are trying to bring him down. And he's pretty stubborn about it. So I'm liking his attitude as he comes back.
All right, so as we get started on this week, we'll start turning our attention towards the Carolina Panthers, who and I missed this on Monday because I was so wrapped up in the Cowboys taking on the Eagles that they made a trade on Monday. Of course, they lost J.C. Horn, their cornerback, and they lost Christian McCaffrey, who they've not put on IR, but he will not be playing on Sunday with a hamstring. Horn went on IR, but they acquired C.J. Henderson, former first-round draft pick cornerback from the Jacksonville Jaguars, traded tight end Dan Arnold away for him on Monday. Mm-hmm. And now C.J. Henderson did not play last Thursday against Houston because he has got a groin injury, and so I don't know if he's going to be ready to play this week or not.
Supposedly, yes.
Yeah. But
it's tough coming back during the middle of the season.
He was an unhappy camper.
Right, exactly. That's why he was available.
So we'll see about the groin injury.
Right, and he's
Oh, so
that's right.
It's a convenient groin injury.
Now he did only have 30 snaps the week before. He started and played a full game in their opener, in Jacksonville's opener, and then he came out. Well, he only played 30 snaps.
And who did they trade
week.
with?
Jacksonville.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I saw Detroit was trying to trade Jamie Collins.
The linebacker, yeah.
Right.
And what's going on with that?
That guy,
he plays for Detroit, and he wants to go to a winner.
Remember when he was in New England, and then they got rid of him, and somebody picked him up and lasted 1 year? Cleveland, yeah. And then he went to Detroit. He was unhappy everywhere he's been, I think.
Is he unhappy because he's getting beaten up, or is
I
not
think
playing
Dan
well?
Campbell was unhappy because he wasn't making any tackles.
Yeah, if you ain't making no plays, man.
You know where he's going to wind up. At one of those teams that have Belichick coaches, either at the Patriots or the Dolphins.
Belichick got rid of him because
the Giants.
He didn't want to pay him.
Yeah.
They had a dispute on the contract.
Yeah, I can see that.
So we don't have any more Arnold to Darnold to Arnold.
That's right. That's right.
It's a tongue twister now. I can. Oh, the other thing I noticed. So you mentioned their injuries, right? Mm-hmm. Or the trade. They're starting left tackle.
Yes.
Randy Gregory is Cam Irving.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I thought he was still here.
I thought he was out of the league.
Wow. And he is starting.
He's starting.
Yep.
How's he been playing?
Well, I don't know.
Well, they're 3-0.
I was going to say they're 3-0. He can't be screwing up too bad. And offensively, they are balling. Darnold's having a great year.
I mean, he was injured all last year.
How's their running game? I mean, even with McCaffrey, I don't know.
They lost McCaffrey, so
Chuba Hubbard is the rookie out of Oklahoma State is their lead back now. They have Royce Freeman also, and there's a couple of other guys that might get activated.
Have they played a game without him yet, McCaffrey?
No, he got hurt on Thursday.
Night.
No, he got hurt on Thursday, and
Hubbard came in.
Hubbard
hadn't played yet.
Okay, here's the other thing.
Well, Hubbard came in. Had 52 yards on 11 carries in that game.
It wasn't all that bad.
Not bad at all. No,
three catches
runner,
for 27.
Yeah. All right, he's a runner.
So here's what I didn't notice. So I pick up my NFL stats. They have the number one defense, total yards. Mm-hmm. They're also number one against the run and the pass. So I'm going, are they that good, or is it a product of who they played?
Okay, let's hear their schedule.
They played the Jets, They played New Orleans at home after the Saints lost half their coaching staff.
Right.
And then they played Houston. So the quarterbacks they played, the rookie with the Jets,
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. They played
Jameis Winston
without half the coaching staff.
And then Houston did not have Tyrod Taylor in that game.
Right.
Davis Mills started.
So are they that good defensively or a product of who they played and when they played them?
Well, now here's the thing about playing against a soft schedule. If you do what you're supposed to do, then you really don't give any tells. I mean, if you beat, it's like us against Philly. We beat them the way we were supposed to beat them. But it's not that we played beneath ourselves. We did exactly what we were supposed to.
Let's add that the Saints did beat the Packers 38-3 in their first game.
Yes.
Yeah, but they had their coaching staff.
Exactly. Yes, they did. But still, they
and they were still practicing at TCU, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I understand you got to do what you're supposed to do. Total yards in 3 games, 573.
Offensively.
Yeah, no, their defense. That's what they gave up.
Wow.
So that's 191 yards a game.
Yeah, we
So
gave that
somebody-
up. Didn't we give that up in one?
Give that up in one half. So
yes.
14
He's
points.
like, come see, come say. That's what he wanted
Yeah.
to say. You know?
14 points, 7 points, and 9 points is what they've given up. So,
They're beating their opponents the way they're supposed to beat.
Are
their
they
opponents.
going up against the steel curtain here, or what? Doomsday, or they haven't been challenged yet?
So there's a reckoning coming.
That's right.
Now, having said all that, when
Yes.
you look at their roster and their investment in defensive personnel, if J.C. Horn is hurt, but they have 6 former first-round draft picks on their defense now with the acquisition of C.J. Henderson. So, and up front, and we're talking about not just first-round draft picks, but first half of the first-round draft picks. Starting with Derrick Brown, defensive tackle, who is the 7th overall pick. Brian Burns, defensive end, who has 3 sacks this season, had 9 sacks last year. He was the 16th overall pick 2 years ago. Hassan Reddick has been a big pickup for them. He's got 4.5 sacks. He was the 13th pick in the draft by Arizona 4 years ago. And Shaq Thompson, who was a late first-round pick and probably their best defensive player at linebacker, who's been in the league now for 7 years.
He's good.
Yeah.
And they picked up A.J. Bowie, right?
Yes, A.J. Bouye.
Veteran Bouye.
Yeah, he has not played yet, but it sounds like he's getting close to being ready to go. So he may be playing on Sunday.
Or will Henderson take his place?
Well, Henderson, he's just getting worked into the mix. They got to, as you alluded to in Jacksonville, they got to figure out where C.J. Henderson's head is right now.
Right.
And also if he's got a groin injury, whether he's physically able to. And so listening to Matt Rule talk about him, their expectation right now is just get him to fit in with the group, So, but they lost Justin Burris, the starting safety, too. A couple of other. They've invested heavily in defensive players since Matt Rule got there last year. In fact, their prime second-round picks were also defensive players. Jeremy Chin starts at safety for them, and he's a big hybrid guy who can play in the box and be a nickel linebacker as well.
So is that why Justin Burris is listed 3rd team at strong
Burris
safety?
is hurt.
He's hurt.
Yeah. So
they sound like their formula sounds a lot like ours.
Well, and they are fast. We talk about the Cowboys look like they were flying to the football the other night. Well, that's what the Panthers do. They fly to the football. So now
we see how much flying they do when you got big Tyron in your face.
Well, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, and we'll get into it more as the week goes on here, but maybe the way the Cowboys have run the football the last couple of weeks, sort of imposing their will.
That's right.
That's going to be interesting to see if they can.
Who's going to be the most
that.
stubborn? That's what you want to find out.
Yeah.
Their D-line or our O-line.
How about the matchup of offensive coordinators here? You've got Kellen Moore, who turned 33 on July 5th, and Joe Brady
from LSU, right?
Who turned 32 last Thursday. So we've
going to be a circus on offense.
We've actually found an offensive coordinator younger than our offensive coordinator go up against.
So they're giving up an average of 45 yards rushing a game. The reckoning is coming.
The reckoning is coming.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see how Carolina attacks us as well. I mean, are they going to be
they think they can play it straight, right? We're good enough on our total defense.
Yes.
Stop your run and your pass without overloading to do either.
Because they really have a conservative offense when you look at it. It just seems like Darnold is managing the offense.
Well, and I think a lot of that is because their defense has been able to control the games, and a lot of that has to do with who they've been playing against. I mean, the Jets and the Texans, and
that means the game plan came together well in those 3 games. And when it doesn't come together well, then you see how well we improvise. And Cowboys have been improvising for 3 years because we always come out, do something stupid, and we have to improvise and overcome our own mistakes. But we do overcome now, but sometimes we don't hang on. I'd like to see how they improvise, based on this new system, new quarterback, and when that heat comes on him, how's he going to react?
And a huge thing for them has been not getting behind, staying ahead, now they can pin their ears back with their edge rushers who are really fast and can get to the quarterback, and that's what the Cowboys were able to do against the Eagles the other day.
This is going to be a good game.
They've got 14 sacks.
In 3 games.
In 3 games. So,
and that's the thing I like about our offense. We've done some stupid things, just a few stupid things.
Like fumbling the ball in the end zone.
Fumbling the ball in the end zone. One time, Tyron, he whiffs a guy, right? And the guy gets in, he makes a play.
Tyler Fackrell.
That was in that was a
Charger
game. I mean, where'd that come from? So, but what I like about us is we don't panic. And the mistakes we've been making, we have overcome. And I had to talk to you guys about these 2 busted plays. We can't, it's no big deal about the end of the half. Don't call the timeouts. But they had 2 weird plays. What was that, in the 4th quarter? He kept trying to give it to Zeke, and Zeke wasn't looking for it. What was going on? They did that 2 times.
Let's talk about that when we come back here on Mix Shots on a Wednesday at the Star.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to Mick Shots.
Be the first to receive new offers, event info, and more when you sign up to receive text messages from the team. Text Cowboys to NFLDAL, that's 635325, to receive 10% off your next Pro Shop order. Message frequency may vary. Message and data rates may apply.
That was pretty good. That was tricky, man.
Cowboys app.
Sounded like you were doing a algebraic equation or something.
No, that was
a lot of numbers and stuff.
Oh, that was a slow read.
It was very
I don't
difficult.
blame you, brother.
Because when I got to text Cowboys, it was text, and it was all uppercase. And then the next one for NFL DAL had a hyphen in between each letter.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, now, Cowboys, was I supposed to spell out Cowboys?
You did good, Spags.
And then they gave me the number on top of it.
That was a lot of improvising.
SMS notifications.
SMS notifications.
SMS.
Okay. All right. So, Everson, what was your question again?
My question was about the two busted plays. I think it was at the beginning of the fourth quarter. I'm not sure.
It was, yes, because they had moved at the end of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. They had moved to a first and 10 at the 20.
Mm-hmm.
To start the fourth quarter. Was that the one we're talking about?
This is where I think he was doing a reverse pivot fake handoff and he reversed one way. Zeke was already gone on the other side of him. He reversed to the right. Zeke was on his left, if I'm not mistaken.
So the first play of the quarter, they hit Lamb for 7. Zeke runs for 3, first down, and it's first and goal at the 10.
Yes.
And so they could not get a first down because the ball was right on the 10-yard line, right? And I wrote down 2 and 2, 2 tight ends, 2 running backs. I wrote run out, like Dak ran the ball out, right? And then I saw there was no one there, and I said, oh, busted play, 1 yard.
So they had 2 running backs, and yet there were no running backs when Dak turned to
no one was behind him. And I'm going, that was a hell of a fake, but who are you faking to?
Yeah, they wanted to just kind of confuse the lineman, I would imagine. Like, who is he faking to? Maybe we missed somebody.
But
and then he rolls out. He's trying to improvise, still to the left, still looking for a player. And it looks like Zeke was like in no man's land. Right, he was kind of like in purgatory.
And that's the one he ended up getting blasted.
Getting blasted in the face. Because he kept wanting to throw it to Zeke, but, he may have even gotten a loss if he would have
he got sacked, but no yards.
But you could tell that he kept wanting to throw it to Zeke. And then, bam, the guy comes and hits him.
And then the third play was third and goal at the 9. There was a dump off to Zeke for 4 yards, but there was offside, so then it ended up being third and goal at the – for some reason, it ended up third and goal at the 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's not like half the distance, is it?
I don't know what happened with that.
The sack, he lost 3 on the sack.
Oh, that's what I –
And so it was third and goal at the 12.
At the 12, that's right.
And then there was an offsides, and then got to the 7.
7, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So third and goal at the 7. Dak ran for 5 to the 2. And then they decided to go for it on fourth and goal at the 2, up 27-14. You kick the field goal, and you have a 16-point lead, but it's still just a 2-possession game. And they decided with 11:26 to go in the fourth, we're going for the jugular here. The knockout punch, fourth and goal at the 2, and he finds Cedric Wilson for the touchdown.
On a scramble play.
Right.
Right? Because he was trying to hit him in the back right corner of the end zone. He wasn't open, and he started
CD was open early and late.
So
and he just didn't see him.
So what was your thought when they went for it on fourth and goal?
Oh, yeah, because if they missed it, it's like, what are they doing? They're too aggressive, right? So one time they're too conservative, one time they're too progressive.
And I enjoyed that one because You got confidence in your defense right now anyway.
You're going to give Jalen Hurts the ball at the 2-yard line if you fail.
I would
have confidence in your offense. Yeah.
In my mind, I'm going, you go for it right here.
Yeah, you might as well because there's a no-lose situation the way the defense is playing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
here's my thing about that, though. We talked about the lack of timeouts at the end of the first half. Then we talked about these busted plays. After, the momentum had swung, we had more momentum going into the red zone. And they just make me nervous sometimes when you come out with this. When you have a talented team like we have, and you make these bonehead mistakes, and they could turn out to be bonehead mistakes if the game is in a different situation. Mm-hmm. If we're closer, if there's one score down instead of 2 scores down. And I don't want to put ourselves into that position. Now, if we do that, and I see that we are mature enough, we're different from last year to where, okay, we made a mistake, we'll get ourselves out of it on a consistent basis. That's great for me if you can do that. But I'm not happy for it if you haven't proven that you can overcome these mistakes and you end up looking like the 49ers last weekend going against Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
They had another loose possession. The Eagles drew within 27-14 in the third quarter. Mm-hmm. They had just scored. The Cowboys ended up starting at the 25. They got a 1st and 10 at the 42, threw to Lamb for 15. So they're 1st and 10 at the Philadelphia 43, right? Mm-hmm. Dak keeps and slides down for -1.
Right.
I think that was the call. I don't know why, but he's -1. And now it's 2nd and 11 at the 44. And he throws a pass to Cedric Wilson, assuming Wilson was going to keep running, and Wilson stopped.
Yeah.
So it's incomplete.
I saw. Yeah, that was weird.
They went empty on the next 3rd and 11. They got a blitz, and he got sacked for -7. Okay. And on 4th and 18 at the 37, their own 37, the punt almost got blocked.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And had that happened,
we're talking about a whole different ball game.
And then
touchdown.
It's a 27-21 game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And see, these are the kind of lapses in concentration that kind of makes me nervous. And, you can nitpick it, but when you're trying to be where we're trying to go, those little nitpicking moments, they can turn into catastrophes if you're not careful.
And that was like 2 possessions in a row in the third quarter.
It was ugly. 2 3-and-outs. They had 2.
Did you come out sleepwalking?
Yeah, there was 2 3-and-outs back to back. And when you know that you have the potential that you have, and that's the thing about the Cowboys, it's the potential that we have to live up to. And so I think McCarthy feels that sometimes. He knows he can do this. He knows he can do that. But what will actually work?
And then they righted the ship, and that get to that possession you were talking about when they went for it on 4th and goal, Bill, and they scored the touchdown, and that kind of settled things down. But at that point, 27-14, things are dicey. So when you see 41-21, looks like a wipeout.
It never is.
But it really isn't.
It
right?
never is. There's always certain moments in a ball game to where if this would have happened, if that pump block would have happened, if we compound our 2 busted plays with something else. I mean, let's look what happened we were up 7-0. We get the ball back. All of a sudden, we're backed up. And why we want to call a play action pass in the end zone, I don't know.
Empty.
Was it empty? That's even worse.
Knowing the penetration ability of Hargrave.
I don't understand that.
And what happened?
And Dak has to understand, you can't hold on to that ball in that end zone.
Once CeeDee Lamb fell down, you got him airmailed the ball.
Yeah.
He was waiting, and Lamb was coming open, and he slipped and fell.
Well,
he had to
He kind of ran a cute route. He was trying to lull the defender to sleep because the defender had the inside position.
I see.
So he was trying to lull him, but that while you're lulling, Dak is back there under pressure.
He's got to go.
And he's looking at you.
And then he falls.
Yeah.
Okay, which takes us, let's go to the end of the first half because we haven't talked about the lack of calling a timeout at the end of the first half. What did you think at the time when they did not use the timeout?
Well, everybody pointed it out, but McCarthy. right away, the commentators were like, okay, you need to call timeout. I mean, it's just standard stuff, Bill. I mean, it's standard stuff. And you kind of wonder, there are times when Coach kind of looks a little witless on the sidelines. He's like, and he was standing there waiting to see if they were going to go for it on fourth down, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, there's a 2-minute warning.
Mm-hmm.
They faced 2nd and 31 at the 2-minute warning.
Mm-hmm.
They completed a pass for 7 yards. Now it's 3rd and 24.
Mm-hmm.
And
don't they throw to Sanders?
And then they threw to Sanders. He went for 19 yards.
pass.
That's when they did
Screen
not
pass.
call the timeout.
Right.
Okay. So on 3rd and 24, and so the clock winds all the way down, and they got it to the 49-yard line, and they didn't call timeout again.
When it's 2nd and 31,
right.
Then you got to think, hey, we're going to hold these guys. So that's really when you call your timeout.
Well, but that was a 2-minute warning.
That was a 2-minute warning. There was a minute 55 left.
Right.
And so after that,
after the pass it was 3rd and 24, right?
3rd and 24 at the 32, and the snap came off at 1:10.
There you go.
So they were at the.
They could have called timeout at 150.
They were at
155.
because they were at
the 150.
And Philadelphia was at their own 32-yard line, facing 3rd and 24.
I mean, you got to think you're going to stop them. So you call that. You have to call that.
Okay, and then they punt. And then his thinking, the way he explained it, was we were going to get the ball backed up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're leading. You already made a mistake back there the first place. And he thought, I think in his mind, he was thinking, okay, we got control of this game. Let's not do anything to screw it up.
And I believe that is what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, and I just decided I was very comfortable going into halftime, winning 20-7, and they had not scored an offensive touchdown yet.
And see,
let's say you're playing against somebody different, though.
Exactly. Well, see, that's my point on all.
If there's another quarterback that threatens you,
and I don't remember if it was Greasy or Riddick, whoever on the ESPN broadcast. Well, you got to call timeout. You got to call timeout.
That's what both of them were saying.
But what you need to do, I believe, as an analyst, when they don't call timeout, is you need to explain this is why the coach is not calling a timeout right now.
This could be
what he's thinking right now.
Well, everybody's on the same bandwagon.
And they're smart enough to know that.
Yeah, we don't.
But they're on the same bandwagon now.
We don't automatically assume
they're pushing a certain narrative.
And this isn't for this coach or for Garrett or for any coach in the league. They know what they're doing. Okay? They are making the conscious decision not to call the timeout. They have a reason. And there's people in their headset telling them, how about a timeout here? It's not like they're forgetting to call a timeout, that we got timeouts left. And that's what it makes it sound like a lot of times on the broadcast when and analysts are coached to be opinionated, But I think that they also, when they see that, okay, he made a different decision, they need to explain why they're making that decision. And I think the reason that he made that decision, just as Mickey pointed out, is you're playing against a Philadelphia team that hasn't moved the football against you at all. They're getting the ball to start the second half. You're gonna receive the ball on a punt at. Heck, you may try to block the punt at the 50-yard line. That's what you did the previous week. and you give
you wanted it, you got it. Right. Your fans.
Right. So anyway, but the way I look at it is the one thing that you do not want to happen before the end of that half is give the Eagles an easy touchdown, a miscue, something like that. It wasn't like, on the previous possession, I believe it was a 3-and-out for the Cowboys, and on the first possession of the second half, there was a sack or maybe even 2 pressures there.
Right.
All right. That's the only way Philadelphia is going to get back in this game, is if you give them an easy touchdown at the end of the half. It's a conservative approach, but I think in this case, I didn't have a problem with what they decided to do because of the opponent. Now, and if they're playing Tampa Bay, if they're playing any team that can move the football themselves,
we need to score as much as possible.
You need
as aggressive as possible.
Exactly.
Right. And here's what his knowledge was. At that point, Philadelphia had 121 total yards in 2 quarters. They were 0 for 4 on third downs. They only had the ball for 9 minutes and 39 seconds out of 40, right? So he's thinking
at that point 30, we haven't given up a touchdown.
Out of 30. Yeah, and they've shut him out defensively.
Yeah.
So he's thinking, why take a chance? We got control of this game. And that's what went through his mind. And I guarantee you what happened with those guys is they could not wait to jump on the fact about the previous game when the clock ran down and they had to call time. And it's like, here we go again.
Well, here we
they don't know how to run the clock. They don't know how to time manage.
Here's what we need to know right now is his reputation is out there right now in this regard, that the Cowboy players are going to win in spite of him. That's what they've all been thinking. That's the narrative right now. I always say this. When Dennis Rodman played, if Dennis Rodman did anything halfway stupid, he's going to get a tech or he's going to get tossed out the game. You do that for, say, Curry. If Curry does that or Michael Jordan does that, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
They'll smile.
Yeah, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt because he is not Dennis Rodman. They are both not Dennis Rodman, Jordan or Curry, in regards to their antics. So they're going to get the benefit of the doubt. McCarthy is not going to get the benefit of the doubt anytime this year, guys. Because right now, they're looking at how well the Cowboys offense is playing. They're looking at Dan Quinn and how he's coming in and making the change. They are already saying that the Cowboys head coach is probably the dumbest one in the room.
Because he doesn't know how to manage the clock.
That's what they're saying.
And whether it's this case, it happens every week in this league where an analyst or somebody says something like that, and that becomes the narrative for the rest of the week. Or there's a shot of a player missing a tackle. And he may have played a great game otherwise, but he whiffed on that one, and they replay it 5 times.
That's all you see.
And that becomes the
narrative.
narrative.
Trust me, I've been there, Bill.
Right. And that's why I say it's the job of the analyst to explain why they made the different decision, and because I know I'm going to hear from my brother-in-law at Thanksgiving that he doesn't even know how many timeouts he's got. He has no idea how to use timeouts.
There's something every game, right?
Has been built,
You want me to give you a great example a real example of what you were talking about? I'm covering a Clemson, North Carolina basketball game, and it's in Chapel Hill, and Dean Smith is giving this rookie ACC official hell, right? And he calls a technical on him. Well, Dean Smith's like, this guy won't call another one on me, right? I got the reputation. He called the second one and tosses Dean Smith on a home game. And I guarantee you that was in his mind. It's like, okay, this young guy, he ain't got the nerve to throw me out.
That's right.
And he asked for it.
It's all about perception.
And after the game, post-game, he apologized. He goes, I was wrong. I should have kept my mouth shut.
All right, one more thing. We got to take a break. The other thing that I liked about not calling the timeout and playing it very conservative right there, I think it's the first time we've seen this coaching staff play it conservative in any situation. Right. They have been so overly aggressive, going, whether it's fake punts or whatever. And I think it tells me something that they really like this team, that they think that they don't have to trick it up. And they've got games under control.
They've got coaches on the field. They have coaches on the field, Bill. That's why they feel confident.
And that's what happened in the game with the fake punt. Right? They were losing momentum against Washington, and he realized if we don't do something. Well, I don't know if he realized it. Maybe Fossil thought it. If we don't do something to jumpstart this thing right away, we're getting beat, and they got beat anyway.
Yeah. All right, we continue with more Mick Shots in a moment.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
Hey, Cowboys fans, ready to spice up your next watch party? Bring Yo Quiero guacamole and be the game day hero. Yo Quiero means I want, and we know you want great, fresh-tasting, ready-to-serve guacamole for your home gating and tailgating events. Made with real avocados and the perfect blend of spices, it will be the star of any party. You can find us at your local Albertsons or Tom Thumb in the deli section. If you can't find it, talk to your store manager and tell them, Yo Quiero guacamole.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
Back to Mick Shots.
Now let's get back to Mick Shots. Download the official app of the Dallas Cowboys to get access to in-market game broadcasts, mobile tickets, daily podcasts, live pregame and postgame shows, game updates, and more. Download in the app or Google Play stores.
Did it say that at the beginning, or did you just add that?
I added that. It was a good transition from the dude saying whatever he said.
There's a little monotonous there, Bags. There's a little monotonous.
There was an echo effect.
Yeah.
All right, we just have like 4 minutes left in this.
How'd we do that?
Mick Shots.
Well, that's because those guys went 5 minutes long.
They sure did. We almost broke in on
But you started on time.
I was trying to slip that by. Come on, Chris.
They were still jerks, though.
Hey, Everson, you see Richard Sherman is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer?
Yes. That is a good call. I really think that is a good call because their defense right now, pass defense, they might have the worst pass defense in the NFL right now.
Well, they had to go up against the Cowboys.
And, they went the Falcons?
And then the Rams.
The Falcons? They gave it up against the Falcons.
Yeah, they did give up 25 points against the Falcons.
Let's see where they're ranked.
And let's see where we're ranked because I'm looking here right now. We might be.
We're the only team ranked above Tampa Bay.
Is that right?
Pass defense. They're 32nd, and the Cowboys are 31st.
All right,
but
where are we ranked in takeaways?
That's right, baby. We are number one.
Well, they'll be number one there.
So I'm looking at 1981, then looking at 2021. Boy, that's some good stuff right there, baby. Those DBs looking like Thurman Steve. What are we going to call them? We got to come up with a name for them.
Trayvon's.
Yeah, no, Diggs dudes.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
I can dig it. Cowboys have
and you got
8.
a dig a zoo. You got Diggs and a dig a zoo.
Right. You got to go secondary. No, leave him out there. You got to go secondary.
The Cowboys have 8 takeaways. New Orleans has 7. Cowboys and New Orleans are tied for net differential at +5. Not bad.
Not bad
considering where they began the first.
Well, you got the whole
games.
Cowboys. You got the Cowboys numbers there
for
overall defense and where they rank.
Pass defense.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
And by the way, 81 we were not Thurman Steves yet. So.
Right. They're tied for 26th in total defense, but they're 6th against the run. 31st against the pass.
See, and the whole total defense thing, that's yards. And,
right.
Just like Jalen Hurts had 300-something yards passing in that game.
Yeah, 330-something yards.
And so that makes Cowboys 26th in total defense, when you're way ahead in a game. And so...
But it also makes you number one in takeaways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because you're going to be waiting on it. You're going to be waiting on it.
That's right.
So, but when it comes to points per game... Well, the Cowboys are 13th, and that's starting off with giving up 31.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's 17 and 21.
I think our best
and
magic...
for defense, it's 14, so it's 17 and 14.
I'm just saying, the best magic performance I've seen is against the Chargers, give up all those yards passing and only give up, 17 points?
Takeaways and them having 2 touchdowns taken off the board because of penalties, and one was an illegal shift.
Yeah, I saw it. It was stupid.
It had nothing to do with the play.
And that's on him. He's the dummy.
Right?
I mean, why would you even move? And the referee's looking right at you.
And the Cowboys got one in this past game. It was on Cooper.
Yeah.
He was in motion, and he kind of stopped. And he turned, but when he turned, his feet were still going.
That's what the guy did. He moved his feet for some reason.
And they're going to call that?
They are going to call it.
They weren't going anywhere. It was
but he moved.
He moved his feet.
Can you look up penalties? Do you have defensive?
I don't think they
like the opposition penalties.
I don't think they have.
So you think we might be leading the league?
Yeah, and the opponent, the Cowboys.
Opponents drawn.
The Cowboys' opponents have drawn 36 penalties to 20 for Dallas. I don't know where 36 ranks in the league, but it's got to be way up there.
Well, that's because we were hunting Hurts down.
Yeah, they don't.
The entire game, especially in the second half. I mean, not his fault. I mean, his linemen were holding all the time. The Chargers were horrible. Their offensive line reminds me of the Raiders back in the Al Davis days.
The Chargers?
Yes, the Chargers penalties and the holding that they had in our game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
And with the Eagles, I mean, they called so many flags on the Eagles. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. And it's been a trend all season. I think they lead the league in penalties. The Eagles do.
I think the Chargers have made some dumb plays against the Chiefs as well, but they overcame them as opposed to they couldn't do it against us. But the Chargers made some dumb plays against the Chiefs as well, penalties that should have killed their drives. But Justin Herbert, he was on it this time. He was on it. No interceptions in the end zone.
And just to give you an idea, the Eagles have been called for 35 penalties, which I believe is like tops in the league, and Cowboys' opponents have been called for 36. So that gives you an idea of where they rank there. So
I got to say that Jalen Hurts is he's not doing that great, but he ain't doing that bad either. Considering all that crap he just said, he got all the penalties against him, and he still had 300-something yards. That touchdown pass at the end.
Yeah,
that
was
God,
great.
What the heck?
And that's the thing. He looks the part. He throws a great ball. You watch a workout from him, and he looks terrific. You would pick him to start for Alabama over Tua, which is what Nick Saban did back when he was at Alabama.
But then he comes out and he throws that pass against Brown.
Yeah, and part of it,
horrible pass and Brown just. That's
part
the
of it.
Interceptions he's ever made.
I think it can be worked out of him where it's just he gets a little too greedy sometimes on things, But it was an underthrown ball that he
underthrown ball, not even close.
Right,
and he was never open.
He was never open. He could have easily just thrown it to the side of the end zone, down the side of the end zone.
And the Cowboys, that one touchdown, I think it was second to last
That was the last
one.
Touchdown.
No, the Cowboys' last one. They ended up with 2 holding plays. I think it was that possession. It was a 65-yard drive that they had 2 holding plays, made it 85 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do you get penalized the hold, but you get penalized the yards you also had gained.
And they still drove
and they
it
still
down.
drove for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So those usually when that happens
now
in
here's
a
what
possession,
I don't, and that's the kind of stuff you don't want. If you're in Philadelphia, it's a different game. You don't get as many penalties called on you. You might still, and you're going to have more mistakes on your end, and so you just don't want to let those X factors get involved
when you've got
in a game like that.
When you've got a good team, you got a good offense,
and they better be a good team when they play that. That's what I'm saying, Bill. You got to be a good team. Show me you're a good team, not that team. I want to see if this team can be a good team.
2016 Cowboys that started every game with a touchdown drive, and remember the game in Green Bay at the end of the half, and they start at their own 5-yard line, and Dak leads them on a touchdown drive. I mean, they overcame adversity. When you've got a good team that can run the football or throw it, then you can overcome that stuff.
Green Bay playoff game, that was an amazing game.
Yeah. So, all right.
And speaking of Green Bay and playoff games, I can't remember if I told you guys this yesterday or not. Des Bryant came into the press conference room after the game. McCarthy was just walking up to the podium, and he yells out, "Hey, Coach, it was still a catch."
And he's right, damn it.
Yeah, right?
It was a catch. I would be mad, too.
McCarthy busted out.
Hey, hooray for Dez. I would be mad, too.
McCarthy busted out laughing. He goes, "Yeah, it's a catch."
It's a catch. It's a catch. Man, I almost hit my head on the ceiling fan when he made that catch. Oh, my goodness. I never forget that.
All right, that does it for Mick Shots for a Wednesday. We will see you again tomorrow at 1:30.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!